Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum, folks. My viewers, my watchers, good morning to you all. As mentioned in the previous videos, we have discussed about XHTML, which is the successor of HTML. Although you can just think of it as being the latest version. The XHTML employs the stricter syntax than its predecessors. HTML, for example, your element and attribute names in XHTML must all be written in lowercase, whereas earlier versions of HTML were not case sensitive. Every element that has some content must have a corresponding closing element, and some of the elements and attributes may be marked as depreciated, meaning that they were likely to be phased out in future versions of XHTML. Each XHTML page should therefore begin with a document type declaration to indicate to a browser or any other program the version of HTML or XHTML that is being used in that page. While we have been talking about XHTML as one language, there were actually other versions, three versions or flavors or XHTML released. This was done to help existing web development make the transition from HTML to XHTML. The first is HTML Transitional 1.0 version, which still allowed developers to use the depreciated markup from HTML 4.1, which is likely to be phased out, but required to to use the new stricter syntax. Next was strict XHTML 1.0, which was the signal the path towards for XHTML without the depreciation, stylish markup, and obeying the new stricter syntax. Next is the frame set XHTML, which is 1.0, which is used to create web pages that use a technology called frames. You meet frames in the upcoming videos. I will explain frames in the upcoming videos. Next, if by now you are feeling a little overwhelmed by all the different versions of XHTML and HTML, don't worry. Throughout this video series, I will explain. You will be primarily learning transitional XHTML 1.0 in the process. You will learn which elements and attributes have been marked as depreciated, and what the alternatives for using these are. If you avoid the depreciated element and attributes, you will automatically be writing strict XHTML 1.0. The document type declaration goes before the opening HTML tag in a document and after the optional XML declaration if you have used it. If you are writing transitional XHTML 1.0 and include stylistic markup in your document, then your document type declaration should look like a document type HTML public, and W3C DTD XHTML 1.0 transitional XHTML, and English. And next, HTTP, World Wide Web, W3 Organization, Transitional HTML, XHTML, DTD, XHTML, Transitional .dtd. Okay, so this data will be this kind of tags will be present. If you are writing what do you call strict XHTML, in that scenario 1.0, your document type declaration will look like this. Let's say document type HTML public in the W3C link with DTD XHTML 1.0 strict in and English, and it should be in English, and one more link you will be assigning like document type DTD XHTML strict.dtd. For strict and transitional, it will be transitional. And one more, as I was told earlier, one is frame set. For frame set, the link will again change. For instead of strict and transitional, there will be frame set. Okay, so the strict XHTML document will contain the document type declaration before the root element. However, you are not required to include the document type declaration if you are creating a transitional or frame set document. So this thing you have to note down. Okay, and having learned transitional XHTML, what it does, 1.0, you should be able to understand older versions of HTML and be safe in the knowledge that unless specifically warned, your XHTML code will work in the majority of browsers used on the web today. Okay, so that is what we have discussed today. Our topic was document type definition. Okay, document type definition. So if you recall it, it is of three types, that is transitional XHTML, statistical the strict XHTML, and the frame set XHTML. The transitional XHTML is supporting DTD, and strict as well as the frame set declaration. You are not required to include the declaration doc type. Okay, you don't need to include it because it will automatically detect. So that's it, folks, for today. So keep learning, keep teaching, and keep exploring new things, and if possible, keep making the videos and enjoy your life. That's it. Sayonara.